So the last step is to display balances. So go to the SAP interface, you'll see the display balances. That's a transaction. You'll see it's a cube, it's a transaction. You can double click to execute. You'll see the customer balance display, but you are required to enter some information. But if you go back to the PDF file, and it tells you to double click on display balances line, bringing you to the customer display screen. So you'll see the customer balance display. This is the screen we are talking about. So in later exercise, you will enter information within the fields. However, for this exercise, you do not enter any information. Instead, you will view the display data. Okay. A customer's ID number and two other pieces of information have been entered to identify a customer account receivable balance for the special fiscal year. You don't have to enter anything here. Okay, so take a look at that. So that means, okay, you can enter the customer's number and company code and fiscal year to display the account balance for that customer in that fiscal year, but you don't have to enter anything right now. Okay, and then the next step is to select different buttons and to do other things. And at the end of these steps, you'll see several questions here. For example, question 1 and question 2 and question 3. So what you need to do for the exercise is to type the answers to this question in the box in the PDF file. Okay, and later on you have to save this PDF file and upload to L for the grades. So let's take a look at the first question. In the customer balance display screen, it means this screen. Okay, what is the top field information that can be inputted? So the questions on the top field. So this is the top field that can be entered. Okay, any information can be entered. This is top field, and this field is customer. So the answer to question 1 is, what you need is to enter customer in this field. Okay, and the second question, what's the second field information that can be inputted? That's the company code. So should be company code. So there's something wrong with the PDF file. The company code has already been given, but the right answer is company code. And the third field is fiscal year. So what you need is just type fiscal year. That's the answers to the 3 questions. And then take a look at the step 1.3. Select this button. If you go to, and that's the one. So it looks a little bit different because the PDF file is using the GUI 7.3, but we are using the GUI 7.4. So but it looks similar, and you can tell. And this one is to upward. If you click that one, means you exit this transaction, and out of these buttons, back to previous screen, exit cancel transactions, or you can type /n in a text field or the comment box and press enter on your keyboard. Okay, so you can type /n and press enter to exit this transaction. Let's do this one. If you click that, you come back to the first or the initial page for the system. And then that's for the first 3 questions, and then let's move on to the second step, view transaction code. So for so many transactions, and sometimes it's hard to navigate. for some people, okay, in their daily, work, they probably will just execute a number of transactions. So it's easier for them to execute the transaction directly and it's more convenient, quick. So one way to execute the transaction directly is using something we call transaction code. So for each transaction in this system, there is a unique transaction code associated with that transaction. So you can type in the transaction code into the command box and to execute that transaction code. So the second the second step, a second task is to view transaction code to find, the transaction code. So to do that, you need to follow the instructions. So in the drop-down menu in the home page of SAP, located on top of the screen, go to Extra and Settings. So let's go to, on top of that, go to the Extra and go to the Setting. That means you single click on the setting. And then step 2, make certain that display technique name is selected, meaning that under this window, display technical name, this is selected. So you will have a check mark there, and then hit the check button or enter on your keyboard to close the setting window. Let's do that. Click the check button, and then follow the navigation path below to display the account balance again. So that's the same navigation path. Let's take a look. Go to accounting and financial accounting, account receivable, account, and display balances. Now see the difference. You see something in front of your display balances, that transaction FD10N. So this is the transaction code. This is the transaction. For another one, clear, that's F-32. For analysis, FD10. So these are transaction codes for each transactions. Let's go back to the exercise. Before clicking on the display balance line, notice additional information that has been included before the name. That's transaction code. So for the question 4, what is the transaction code for display balances? It's this navigation path. That's FD10N. So you need to enter FD10N as the answer to question 4. Okay, now the next step is to press SAP menu button that look like this. Okay, so over here is this one, SAP menu. Let's click on that. You'll go back to our original view of the SAP menu, and then we'll return to SAP menu to the original status. Okay, so 2.6, type in the transaction code for display balance in the text field. So that means you need to type in FD10N into the command box. So let's try that. FD10N. If you enter that and then press enter, it takes you to the same screen we've seen just now. Customer balance display for customer, company code, and fiscal year. Okay. So that's kind of exercise for you to understand how to display the transaction code. That completes the step 2. The step 3 is to view help guides. Let's take a look at this step. So follow the navigation path below to view help guides. So this looks like that. Again, to the same. This is to the same path we've just seen just now, and before that we can exit that, and we can follow this path to display the exercise, to display the transaction again. Okay, let's go to the accounting, financial accounting, account receivable, account, and display balances. What you need to is double click this to execute that. Now you can see this screen again. So the next step is to place your cursor in the entry field next to customer, meaning you put your cursor into this field, this box, and then do not enter any customer information in the field. On your keyboard, press F1 key. Go to your keyboard and press F1, and you will have a new window. So this window actually provides you some information about that field. So it gives you the full name for that field. It's called customer account number, and a description about that number. It says a unique key used to clearly identify the customer within the SAP system. If you go back to the PDF file, and that's the function. Is sometimes if you don't know what type of information I need to enter, okay, into this field or into customer company code or fiscal year, and then this exercise tells you where you can find help. So press F1 gives you the description about that field. Okay, so go to the exercise. Now, the question number 5 is what's the customer account number definition? So you can copy that. You can copy that from this window. You can copy this, right click and copy, and then close that. Go to your exercise. You can right click and click paste. Okay, so you paste your answer there. But there's a problem with the PDF. You can paste up to some number of characters. That's fine. Just paste there, and to get the whatever you can put there. Okay, that's okay. I'll give you full credit for that. So the next step is close the performance assistant window and click on this button on the screen. So to close this performance assistant window, and then to click on the help button on the menu bar or on the standard toolbar. So it functions as the F1 button on your keyboard, the same function. So you click on that, gives you the same thing. Okay, close that. So it tells you that you can either press F1 or this button, okay, or this help button. So that completes step 3. So step 4 is for the SAP menu, search menu. Sometimes if you remember a transaction but you cannot remember the navigation path, so you can use the SAP search menu to search for that path. So let's close this transaction by doing that, and let's take a look at the force to search for the transaction with the SAP search menu. So step 1, in the text field or the comment in the box, you can enter search SAP SAP menu and press enter. So I can copy this and paste on the comment box. So if you enter this and press enter, so this is the search box, a menu search. You can input the search text. So the search text is to type display balances in a field, and type display balances there and click OK, and you will see mainly results. Okay, number of results. So you can see the first one, display balances. You will find a navigation bar. The first one is display balances. Previous is account and credit